This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production. Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Hello, and welcome to the show. We're so excited that you're here with us today. We have an amazing guest. It's not his first time. He's a second-time guest, but we love having him in the house. We're going to talk to him in a little bit after we've done our housekeeping that we normally do. Season is in full swing. You all know that. Wherever you are in town, there might be a little bit more traffic. But if you're looking for something fun to do, there's a lot more things going on. I like it at this time of year when it's busy. And then I like it in the summer, Cindy, when it slows down just a little bit, you know. I like both of them.
I do, too. And I've been going to a ton of functions, too. I'm with you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Jersey
really
Boys yet?
I didn't.
I haven't either.
I didn't.
I need to go.
I want to, but I think I blew that one.
What did you go to?
I went to the car show. Where else did I go to?
The car show?
I went to the car show at Barefoot Bay. It was kind of cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. It was. They had like 50
Barefoot
cars.
Bay. It's a buzzword today. Ding,
yes,
ding, ding.
Yes, yeah. And it was like 50 cars. I was like, holy Toledo.
They're big. People like that stuff.
They had a cigar bar there. It was really intense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I have a dear friend, shout out to Eric and Jill Kalin, and Eric, he bought this old Bronco, like one of those classic 60s, and it's orange, and you can drive it. It's like a really cool car. And then he bought her a Mustang for her birthday. I was like, did you ask for a Mustang?
Wow,
she said, I didn't. But now you get to go to car show. She has one. She leans against hers. He leans against his. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
it was
car
a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. A lot of people like to do that.
Yeah.
Well, the things that we've got going on around town, we always talk about Riverside Theater. Having our own theater here in town really is something special for our community. So I always like to plug what they've got going on. Jersey Boys right now is at Riverside. It goes through the end of the month. Try and get over there. There are some matinees, so sometimes you can catch one at 2 o'clock. I think it's Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Grand Harbor, there's some elite women's tennis professionals from 30 countries in town. Yeah, so that would be fun. So they're playing some really killer tennis over at Grand Harbor. You can go over if you like to watch tennis. Or you like to watch the ladies play tennis. It's a great place to go. They have a great facility over there, too. The Emerson Center, Cindy, I know, I've not been over there. It's right over on what, 17th? 16th?
It's 27th and
16th, right? Yeah.
The high school one in 27th. And that acoustics is phenomenal. I've been to many things there. Incredible. No bad seats. Excellent.
I know. It's crazy. They're doing, it's Herman's Hermits. I get it. It's kind of old school, but there's a lot of people in this town. Our average age is 67. So it might be a lot of people that like to see it. But like Cindy said, what a great facility.
Totally.
Great acoustics. And they always do. They put on a nice show over there. That's going to be on Thursday night this week from 7 to 9. So Summer Crush Winery. Have you ever been?
Yes.
No.
Have you? No, you haven't been?
I know where it is. I've driven by it, but...
Yeah, I went once. I think Jake was playing out there or something like that. But they're doing a country, the Icons of Country. So it's Miranda Lambert, Luke Bryan. We all know what the music's going to be. But that is the one on Saturday, this coming Saturday, and they go 1 to 4. Now, it's a winery and a vineyard, and they have a covered space and usually have some food trucks out there. Now, the one that I think would be more interesting, but I work on Sundays, is the Eagles tribute. Because, I don't know. I know all their music, and I just think it's kind of maybe it's a period in my life that I really enjoyed, but I love the Eagles. And we all went and saw their concert, which was amazing. Our guest and his wife and a bunch of us girls went and saw that up in, I saw it in Tampa, and then we saw it, I think, in Greenville, South Carolina. Don't forget Downtown Friday, Cindy.
Yes,
they
I
always
know.
remind me I have to talk about it.
And they have a theme. Do they have a theme?
They didn't say it on the VeroBeach.com.
Okay.
But it's music, dancing, street vendors, crafts, food trucks, 6 to 9 on Friday. So it's the last Friday of the month. The art stroll is the first Friday. and downtown is the last Friday of the month.
So you always just back it up. Go the last one and then the first one.
You're good to go. 2 weekends in a row.
That's
Check that
it.
Friday box, right?
Bada boom, yeah.
I got something to do.
Yep.
A farmer's market on Beachside, we love that. 8 to noon, art in the park. They always have some art right there, so they're going to have that this weekend as well. Enough with that kind of stuff. Let's get right to the cocktail. Thank you, Chef Scott Baricchio. He always brings us a cocktail.
Yeah, he does.
This is in honor of our guest. Let's just introduce. Well, I have to do this. The lead-in for him is so fabulous.
Yeah, do
I spent a lot of time on this. Okay, let's get to our guest. He's an ophthalmologist serving Sebastian, Barefoot Bay, Palm Bay, Melbourne, Vero Beach, Okeechobee, Florida. We've got people coming up from Port St. Lucie and down from Melbourne to see this guy. He specializes in custom cataract surgery and laser vision correction for those who want to see their best. He's also a father of 4, a husband to my best friend, has served on city council in 2017. He was elected mayor in 2019, and we are proud to have him in our studio today. Welcome, Val Zudans.
Nice to
Cheers.
see you.
Good to see. Good to have you here. We're
Thank you
so
for
glad.
having me.
So the cocktail of the day is a bourbon Manhattan. And I asked Val, what kind of cocktail should we do? Because we had one. He's like, you have a cocktail? And I said, yes, we do, actually. So it's a bullet. It's a bourbon Manhattan. So that would be bourbon with sweet vermouth and some bitters. And they give us a black cherry. You can only have one. That's the rule from Chef Scott Baricchio. You're only getting one cherry. So let's take a sip.
This is an upgrade. Last
Cheers.
time I was on,
It was beer.
Mark McCain and I, we just got craft beers.
There
It
you
was
go.
not like,
Hey, things are looking up, right?
Right.
Business is good. Business is good. No, that's fantastic.
I like the introduction, but actually more people know me as
Tracy's
Tracy's husband or my kid's dad.
I was
so,
going to say, yeah, I know. I could go through all the kids and do all that because I know all your children. They're amazing, and I love every one of them. So, but yeah, I know. That's kind of Jim is like Lori's husband. Oh, you're
think-
Lori's husband? Jim Davis? That's you? Really? You're like, yeah, that's me. So, no. Anyway, thank you, Chef Scott Baricchio from Citrus Grill House, 1050 Easter Lily Lane, right there on the ocean, on Easter Lily Lane, right next to Hummiston Park. Beautiful lunch and dinner Monday to Saturday. Fabulous. Go eat out on the patio. It's been a little chilly, but they roll down the plastic. You can still see out there. All the staff is great. If it's not fresh, they're not serving it. And he's got great, fun winter dishes that he's coming out with. And they're just don't go in without asking for the specials. And know if the specials are there, you should try them because they're very, very good. Anyway, thank you, Chef Scott. DSRE by the numbers. This is year to date in 2024. We're at $23.2 million for 15.5% of the market share. We've had 34 closings in January, and there were only 14 days in that year, and thus far business days that we've been able to do business. So we've got obviously averaging 2 per day. What I wanted to talk about was the median sale price of a home in Indian River County. On the mainland, in the county, I just excluded the Barrier Island because that one has some wild numbers to it. It was 2023 was $353,000 for the median price of a home. Now in 2022 it was $347,000, so it's actually going up. So you're still getting appreciation. That's what we want. Nice and steady, easy breezy, nothing crazy, right? On the Barrier Island. A whole different story.
Yeah.
Okay, so the average sell price in December 2022 was $1,183,000.
That's crazy.
Okay. In December 2023, it was $825,000. That's down 30%. So it was just crazy. It was the unicorn years, the numbers people were buying. It was 2022. It was a crazy, crazy year. Everybody wanted to get in where they were going to be. It was the ending of COVID, and everybody was realizing they didn't have to work where they lived or live where they work, et cetera. And so it was kind of crazy, but it was a fevered pitch of buying, and we really don't expect that to continue. And it's going to just level out. We're really kind of going sideways. That's an annual number, so that's the difference. But there are still properties on the Barrier Island that are under $1 million because there was a time there where you couldn't get anything on the island under $1 million. So there you go. If you live on the Barrier Island, just hold tight. We're doing all right. We're doing just fine. Val Zudans, tell us, all right, Now, your resume is quite extensive, but we're here to talk about Zudans Eye. Tell us about what you've got going on now.
So, yeah, back when my first day of work in Vero Beach was my first job out of training at Florida Eye Institute, and July 1st, 2002. And back then, you could buy an oceanfront house in Seagrove for well under $1 million. Unfortunately, I was not smart enough to buy one of those houses. But
I know.
So I had Tracy and I had 3 young kids already. I just finished my training down at Bascom Palmer Eye Institute in Miami.
Yep.
And which I'm not bragging, but it's undeniably like the #1 training program in the United States for like over 20 years.
It's affiliated with the University of Miami?
Yes,
right?
University of Miami, their Department of Ophthalmology is called Bascom Palmer Eye Institute. The training is just absolutely amazing. You get to see everything, and everyone who has something very rare, complex, or difficult to manage who practices in Florida, or South Florida at least, they will refer that stuff down there. So as a resident, you get to see everything. So I saw so many things in practice that I never saw again for the subsequent 22 years of practice. And so when Tracy and I had our first 3 children were born, 5, 3, 1. Okay, so like they didn't know anything about anywhere except Miami. So we get to Vero Beach, amazing place to raise kids. And I joined a practice that I was the 6th partner. Eventually, I became a partner in that practice and stayed there for 19 years. But because it was a practice with lots of subspecialists, I didn't get to use a lot of the stuff that I was trained in down in Miami, because I ended up being primarily a cataract surgeon, which is the most common thing that a general ophthalmologist will do. I'm a general ophthalmologist. Cataract surgery, some eyelid surgery, a lot of glaucoma, dry eyes, things like that. But I also had in my group 2 retina specialists, a cornea specialist, a glaucoma specialist. So when you had the more complex stuff, you would not take care of it yourself. You just send it to your partner who was specialized training. So that was great. Great way to have a good, conservative, safe practice, and I got a lot into like the managing the business and did a lot of that for my group, and got to a point about 3 years ago where I figured that, you know what, I kind of want to be more jack of all trades, kind of like use some of this other stuff that I had done before, and I wanted to kind of do everything. So I was still at Florida Eye, and I decided to work 1 day a week, open a practice out in Okeechobee. Okeechobee, if you don't know about it, it's a relatively small county, 45,000 in the summer, 75,000 in the winter. And there was an older ophthalmologist been practicing there for more than 30 years. He was the only guy in town, and he was about to retire. And so I ended up opening a practice out there, just going out there 1 day a week, and then still doing my surgeries here. And but he then retired, and I'm the only ophthalmologist in Okeechobee County. And so, and I'm doing everything out there. Like I do, people who have wet macular degeneration, they need injections in their eye for bleeding in the eye. Cataract surgery, eyelid surgery, just about anything that you need. And so I got to really use some of my skills I was out there. And I decided to leave the group I was with, and I worked part-time with Dr. Mallon, Dr. Katz, Dr. Blanford, and some other doctors here in town at Advanced Eye. Really good practice, but I was just an employee there. I had plans that I was, and they knew it. It was always a very good relationship, but I was planning on eventually being out on my own, doing more of this. I call it concierge ophthalmology without the high prices. So like I wanted to just
take insurance.
It's like almost like being a family practice doctor where you take care of everything eye-related, and so that's kind of what I wanted to do at this next phase of my life. My 3 oldest kids have already graduated college. My youngest kid just started at Florida State.
Zio, shout out.
Zio started in the fall, so in some ways Tracy and I are having an empty house, and I had opened an office just north of Sebastian in Barefoot Bay. again, an underserved area per se.
Sure.
Not nearly as many ophthalmologists as here in Vero Beach. And then after my 2 practices that I was doing on my own got busy enough, I decided, you know what, I can just do this. So decided January 1st, I just work for myself now.
That's fantastic.
And it was very amenable with the people I was working with before. It was not like anything negative about them, but we decided to, and they kind of knew I was going to eventually do this. And,
of course.
So I'm loving it. It's actually pretty amazing. Go to work every day.
Yeah.
I do everything how I want to do. It doesn't have to be like as hectic. I can spend a little bit more time with patients.
Right.
Smaller offices, so you know it's not like you're in this massive cattle.
I know. That's what it feels like sometimes. The institute, you know, they'll call it, or something like that, where there's, you know, 30 doctors or 15 doctors. That's good. Like you said, you've got specialists that do all of these
definitely a role
things.
for that.
Right. Now, for you, I know that you even did surgery today. I so appreciate you coming by after you worked and did all of that. Yeah. What is your most common surgery, and why do you think that is?
By far cataracts, because if we live long enough, we all get cataract.
Okay.
And we have 2 eyes.
I know.
So it's the number 1 most commonly performed surgery in the United States, and in the world probably. What cataract is the day we're born, the lens inside of our eye is crystal clear.
Yes.
And then very slowly and gradually, it doesn't happen overnight, that lens starts to haze and it gets like a greenish brown tint to it.
Okay.
And you start to, as light passes through that slightly hazy lens, it starts to scatter the light, and then eventually it causes symptoms like halos, starbursts around lights, the lines coming off the lights, just having to get closer to see a road sign, needing brighter lights to read, just a slow, gradual decline in vision. And the surgery is absolutely amazing. Under a microscope, just numbing drops, no needles, no stitches. There's an instrument that holds your eye open. And I use sound waves, ultrasound, vacuum, just to vacuum out that cloudy lens and then put a new lens implant in the eye, kind of like a permanent contact lens with prescription inside your eye to improve your vision.
Everyone that I've ever heard that had it done said it was fantastic. And then all of a sudden, Cindy, they were like, I got to wear sunglasses. It's so bright. I mean, they're seeing so much more than they saw before the surgery.
Yes.
It's amazing. They're just like, this is like new eyeballs, you know? It's so cool. Listen, we pay for this with some commercials. Let's do that real quick, and then we can come back and talk more about Val and all the good things that he's doing. See you in a second.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. We're having a big January clearance sale, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in Vero Beach next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street and visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture.
Advertising is essential. You've got to make people aware that you're there. We can do that with a cohesive marketing campaign from Evergreen Media. Based on your business goals, we'll create a mix of digital advertising on social media sites like Facebook, video advertising on streaming sites like Hulu and Paramount Plus, and supplement them with local TV and radio ads. Build awareness, educate, and inform the public with a cohesive marketing campaign by Evergreen Media. Check out egreenmedia.com or search online for Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
If you operate a small business, you need services like payroll, tax compliance, HR tools, and other resources. You need Complete Employee Solutions. Vero Beach has a team of professionals, including Anthony Sammons, Matt McCain, and Jennifer Comer, who saw the need for competent payroll, HR, and employee leasing services. Call Complete Employee Solutions at 772-978-7277 or visit their website at CompleteEmployeeSolutions.com.
Hello and welcome back to the show. We're so glad that you're still here with us. We have Val Zudans from Zudans Eye here in the house. He is the doctor. He is the ophthalmologist to the stars. He's seeing everybody that I know. Anyway, okay, we've got a couple things we wanted to talk about. Dry eye. Everybody's got it.
What a dry subject.
What a boring thing. Let's do refractive surgery then.
No, dry eye is actually interesting because a lot of doctors, I think, don't really recognize. I mean, because you're not going to go blind from dry eye, so they don't necessarily think it's something sexy to talk about. But it really does bother people a lot.
It does.
It affects the functioning of your vision. If you're like, your eyes get fatigued, it's just uncomfortable and unpleasant, and it's actually really easy to treat.
Yes.
And there's some great treatments. One of my favorites is something called punctal plugs. And a lot of people don't know this, but in your inside edge of your eyelid, there's a little drain where your tears drain from the surface of your eye down to the back of your nose. That's why little kids, when they cry, they sniffle, because they're actually feeling the tears in the back of the eye.
Okay.
We have these little dissolvable plugs. It doesn't hurt at all. It takes like a minute to do. At the microscope that I have in my office, I can put that in your lower eyelid. You can't even feel it. And it's like putting a plug in your sink drain.
Right.
It helps the surface of the eye stay on there. And there's no medicines, there's no chemicals. It's just like taking your natural tears and keeping them around longer. And then eventually they dissolve like 3 or 4 months later, but you just go back and you can replace the plugs, and
I love that.
And it enhances the effect of artificial tears. So like there are some really good preservative-free artificial tears that you can put in your eye.
I have some you recommended for me that I use.
And if you do that in combination with the plugs, it makes the tears work really well. And it's very simple to do, covered by insurance, and a lot of patients like that.
That's great.
And refractive surgery is another one of my favorite subjects.
Tell me, go. That was what I was going to say next.
So refractive surgery is what people hear, laser vision correction, LASIK or PRK are the two most common procedures. But basically all that's doing is it's the equivalent of a permanent contact lens. Okay, so if you like the way, it doesn't fix cataract, which is a cloudiness inside your eye.
Right.
A lot of people misconstrue that. But it is, if you can get good vision with contact lenses, you can reshape the cornea using a cold laser. It doesn't generate any heat. It doesn't hurt when it's being done. And that can permanently change your prescription. And it's reasonably priced in the big scheme of things. And has incredibly low risk. Nothing is zero risk. But that's a great way to improve your vision. I do have an excimer laser, the laser that we do that with up in my Barefoot Bay Sebastian office. And
that's amazing.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to do because it works really easy. It's not hard. I say sometimes a monkey can do it. It's not like my...
I don't think so.
Well, no, cataract surgery takes surgical skill. And I've done 10,000 cataract surgeries. I stopped counting when I got to 10,000.
Did you really?
Yes.
10,000. Wow.
Many years ago, I had done that many. But you're doing a lens exchange, and intraocular surgery it's like doing a chip in a bottle kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Laser vision correction is more about the planning, making sure the patient's a good candidate, programming the computer to actually do the right treatment. But then once you get started, it's very simple and very low risk.
Very straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to have to sit down after this when we go over to Citrus Grill House and talk about whether I'm going to be able to get rid of these damn contacts. I mean, he's already told me, he's like, you're as far as I can get you from like this one reads and that one sees distance, and I don't know what I'm going to do with all that. One of the other things that I wanted to say, although we don't have a lot of time, is very quickly macular degeneration. That's something that you do, and that's a big
age-related condition. Something I really like to help people, because when I started practice for the first 5 years, there was no treatment for wet macular degeneration. Dry means as you get older, the retina atrophies and it can decrease function, but it's usually not as severe as wet. Wet is it gets so atrophied you start to bleed in your eye. And then we have medications we can inject through the white of the eye about every 6 weeks, and it stops the bleeding for 6 weeks at a time and prevents people from going blind, which is what used to happen when I first finished training.
Absolutely. Well, Val Zudans, if you guys are interested and you'd like to talk to Val Zudans, go to his website, Zudeye, Zudeye.com, or call 772-212-1562. Lori Davis here, your Realtor for Life. Thank you, Val Zudans, for being on the show. We really appreciate it. And we will come back again because there's so much more stuff that you're doing.
Realtor for
Good
Life.
luck to, I am your Realtor for Life. And good luck with, with all of your practices. And go on up and see him because he's my doc and he should be your doc too. Have a great day and come back. See you next week. Bye-bye.